Beneath the surface of every thought, emotion, and behavior lies a world that often goes unnoticed, yet it shapes everything we do. We believe we control our minds, steering our actions with intention. But in truth, how much of this control is simply the illusion of the conscious mind? How often do we follow the invisible currents of the unconscious, believing we are at the helm, when, in fact, we are only passengers? Carl Jung, one of the most profound minds in the history of psychology, believed the real journey lies not in controlling this inner world, but in understanding it. What if the purpose of life was not to become someone else, but to become yourself, to integrate all the hidden parts of your being into a unified whole? Welcome to a journey within, where the goal is not perfection, but wholeness. Jung saw the human psyche as a vast, intricate landscape. To him, the psyche was not simply a collection of thoughts and feelings, but a living, dynamic system, constantly in motion. It is a place where both the conscious and the unconscious worlds collide and interact, shaping the individual from within. The psyche is composed of three primary layers: consciousness, personal unconscious, and collective unconscious. At the surface lies consciousness, the realm of awareness. It is where we live our everyday lives, where we tell our stories, identify with who we are, and engage with the world. At the core of this conscious self is the ego, our sense of identity, the story we tell ourselves about who we are. The ego is like a captain of a ship, guiding the vessel through the sea of life. But beneath this surface, there is more, much more. What happens when we venture beyond the ego? In the personal unconscious lies everything the ego has rejected or repressed. Memories, instincts, and desires that, though hidden, continue to shape us. Jung argued that this repressed content is not simply forgotten. It actively influences our thoughts, behaviors, and decisions, often without our awareness. Then, there's the collective unconscious, a concept that sets Jung apart from his contemporaries. Unlike the personal unconscious, which is unique to each individual, the collective unconscious is shared by all humans. It is an ancient reservoir of universal experiences and symbols, inherited through generations, much like our genetic material. It holds the deep, archetypal symbols that reappear in mythology, religion, and art across time and cultures, the archetypes. These archetypes are not just abstract ideas. They are living forces within our psyche, influencing the way we think, act, and relate to others. But what is the purpose of all these hidden realms? The answer lies in individuation, a process Jung described as the journey toward becoming one's true self. Individuation is the path of integrating the unconscious into the conscious mind, of embracing all parts of ourselves, the light and the dark. There is, however, a catch. The deeper we go into the unconscious, the more we encounter the shadow, the darker, often denied aspects of ourselves. The shadow represents everything that the ego refuses to acknowledge. The desires we find shameful, the anger we repress, the fears we avoid. It is the unconscious other that lives within us, the part we are reluctant to face. But what happens if we turn away from the shadow? What if we choose to remain blind to this darker side? Jung warned that this denial, this refusal to acknowledge the shadow, would lead to disintegration, a life half-lived. The shadow does not disappear by ignoring it. In fact, it becomes stronger, more insidious, and it will often erupt in ways we least expect. The challenge, Jung argued, is not to eliminate the shadow, but to integrate it, to acknowledge its existence without being consumed by it. So, what does it mean to integrate the shadow? To do so is to understand that we are not simply good or bad. We are both. It is to admit the dark potential within us, and in doing so, reclaim the power to choose who we want to be. This integration is the key to becoming whole, to realizing the full potential of the self. Jung's exploration of the psyche did not end with the shadow. He also introduced the concepts of the anima and animus, the unconscious feminine side within men and the masculine side within women. These inner opposites hold qualities that have traditionally been ascribed to the opposite gender, qualities that, when repressed or denied, distort our perceptions of ourselves and others. For men, the anima represents the emotional, intuitive, and nurturing aspects of the psyche. For women, the animus represents the rational, assertive, and logical aspects. Jung believed that integrating these qualities into one's conscious life was crucial for achieving balance and authenticity. What would it mean, then, to embrace both the masculine and feminine within? To embrace the anima and animus is to transcend the traditional notions of gender and accept the full spectrum of human experience. It is to move beyond the limitations of cultural stereotypes and to recognize that every individual contains multitudes, a mixture of energies and potentials, all waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Jung's journey into the depths of the unconscious reveals an essential truth. The journey toward wholeness is not a path of avoiding the dark, but one of embracing it. It is not about becoming someone you are not, but about becoming who you truly are. To step into the light of your own authenticity, you must first journey through the shadows that lie within. And so, the process of individuation continues, an ongoing dance between the conscious and the unconscious, the known and the unknown, the light and the shadow. It is a process of radical self-acceptance, of confronting the parts of ourselves we would rather ignore. It is only by accepting the darkness that we can fully embrace the light. The path to your true self is always there, waiting for you to walk it. It may be long, and it may be difficult, but it is the only path that leads to true freedom. Are you ready to begin your journey within? If you are, then take the first step, and in time, you will discover that the journey itself is the destination. To dive deeper into the mysteries of the mind and begin your own process of individuation, subscribe and join us on this transformative journey. The exploration of the psyche never truly ends, and together, we can begin to uncover the infinite layers that make up who we truly are.